The second time I did it, I just did a live round. So rather than sitting at home re-recording all the stuff, I did a live round. So that worked really well because I got paid for my time, because everyone that may not have, that wanted to do a live round, so that worked really well too.
Yeah, a lot of people want the live round because they want that accountability.
Yeah.
Because they turn up. Whereas when it's recorded, I've got tons of training that's recorded and I still haven't done it. And
myself as well.
Turned up to all the live rounds of things when they happen. So sometimes you need something and you need it now. So you take it on the evergreen model. You've got clients coming in with their babies. You need that information now. You're going to buy the 1,000 days program. And then it's like, oh, this is something I'm needing because occasionally it happens. That's when you're buying the live round, because it's like occasionally happening. And so there you've got all that information in the background that you can delve back into. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How are you going? I'm very excited to be able to bring you Emma Park. Now, Emma is amazing, and I've known her a number of years now, and she's an accredited functional nutritionist, and she's based in the Mornington Peninsula, so just down from Melbourne, for those of you who aren't too sure on the old geography there. And she's had an incredible practice, part-time, doing all sorts of things, and she's got some going to talk to us today because she is the founder of the first 1,000 days education program, and it's a really cool program. She's got online resources, and it's for practitioners and for the public. So she's got the two sides. She's got the program to help the mothers and fathers and the baby for that first 1,000 days, so till they're 2 years old. But then she also has the practitioner side as well. So I really wanted to talk to Emma today about how you get a program going, what you put in it, how you encourage people to be on it, but why the two sides of it as well. It's to be able to deliver to everyone and it be encompassing like that is pretty amazing. So Emma, thank you so much for coming, and tell us about yourself and your program.
Hey, Geraldine, and thanks for having me. And yeah, it's one of the things I love talking about. Like, the topic is awesome, but also about how I ended up developing, or why I developed this program. And it really came from, I saw a need for education in the consumer market. That's how it started. Because I do health professional education for Qiara Probiotics. I sort of specialised in the field of gut health and microbiome in pregnancy and postpartum. And so I was working with clients in that space. And then also, actually, what triggered me to do the online course was some friends that weren't clients that would come to the end of their pregnancy, and they just hadn't been educated or empowered about things like, what was happening with the microbiome, the side effects of having, or the likelihood of having antibiotics through pregnancy, birth, and then feeding, and how that was going to impact outcomes. Looking at that, the maternity care system in Australia, and how many holes there were in it, to put it nicely and politely, and I just saw this need for this education. And I had all this knowledge in my head from doing this, having the role with Qiara and going to all of the professional conferences. That's how I learned so much also about maternity care and the policy and that kind of stuff. So both of these things, I was like, right, there's mums out and dads out there that need to know this stuff, so I'm going to do an online course. And my intention was to just do a really sort of quick one and put it all together, but it just got bigger and bigger and bigger as it does, because I was like, oh my God, there's so much that people need to know. And then I started interviewing experts, and anyway, and it was right at the beginning of COVID as well, and so my workload had dropped down quite a bit, so I had spare time, so I just put lots of time into it and developed this course for consumers and for mums and stuff. And then so launched that, and I got help through, I'd never done an online course before, right? So for me, that was a big learning curve. And I think to having the guidance, I had some mentors and I had colleagues that had done online courses before, and we've got a good network of experienced practitioners that have done these kind of things before. So I definitely called on that to get it off the ground. But it got a bit bigger than I thought it would. And so then when I launched it, it was like, cool. And then that's a whole nother thing, is like developing the program and putting it all together. That was kind of easy for me because I'd done education before and I'd done online education, but then actually launching and marketing is a different skill, right?
Totally a different skill set. You've really got to change all the mindset around everything, what you do, how you do it as well. So
I had to learn that too. And so again, I did some short courses and worked with some other people in our profession that are specializing in that, and learned how to do that as well. And I think, again, you do it the first time and you're going to make mistakes, and it's you learn on the fly. And so I think, and again, I remember being quite challenged in that stage and quite nervous about actually putting it out because it wasn't perfect, or it wasn't, when you get quite triggered when the first time you put yourself out of your comfort zone. Like in my comfort zone of consulting, I'm fine, but then putting myself out there, and it was like, you have to record everything and, like all of that stuff. But the best advice I got was just put it out there, like just do it. And you always can, re-record stuff, or it's a work in progress, and it's going to be, and you will know that yourself. Even the way that you consult, and it's the same thing when you pivot into online. It's like the first thing you put out is going to be different from the third and the fifth thing you put out, but it's, it's a developmental learning thing. But just put it out there, and then, what I did actually to launch was to send it to a few people for free, and as pilots, or a few colleagues and stuff, and people that were, anyone that I interviewed as an expert for the program, I sent it to them and got their feedback, and that helped give me some confidence putting it out.
Absolutely. The way, having a trial period with anything, and having those first people that you send that program to and then getting their feedback helps in so many ways. It means you've got a testimonial, number one, but it also means you've got feedback to change it, because we have to be all up for change. So my courses that I run, like the graduate program, each and every semester is different to the last one. The content will be the same, even though I'm re-delivering it. So it's always different, it's updated, but the way it's delivered. So this semester I'm doing block courses. So because that's what's suiting people right now. And so always getting that feedback, just like we do with our clients when we see them one-to-one, is super important. And the perfectionism thing is huge, thinking we can't do it until it's perfect. And yet people realize that things aren't perfect. People realize, my first programs, I used to post to people. I used to put them in an envelope and post them. So,
it's hilarious. And it is. And it's like, and the other thing is to be able to keep putting it out there, and to get that feedback is you're then able to know where the gaps are and how you need to change it, and who's out there and what do they need. Like you said, at the moment people are needing the model that you're delivering, and so after I did that original model, which for me I chose to do an evergreen one, because I just thought that was easiest. And then after that I learned that if you do a live round, you get better engagement. So rather than re-record, and this was with the health professional module. So after I did the mums one, I really went, there's also a massive gap for these health professional, in that same field, and really research and evidence-based. And so I went and did that. And that's actually probably my passion more than education at that community consumer level, really is health professional stuff. So once I started doing that, I was like, this is my jam, and I kind of knew this is what I was supposed to be doing. And so then I did the first one of that, and I did the evergreen one. And then when I went to update it again, because the field is so dynamic, there's new research coming out all the time. You kind of got to update content all the time, don't you? Like it's the same as any field. You got to keep it fresh, and, you want to keep people engaged, and even previous people, you want to, get them back on board. And because I'm so passionate about education, I want people to know the most cutting edge stuff, so the second time I did it, I just did a live round. So rather than sitting at home re-recording all the stuff, I did a live round. So that worked really well, because I got paid for my time, because everyone that may not have, that wanted to do a live round, so that worked really well too.
Yeah, a lot of people want the live round because they want that accountability.
Yeah.
Because they turn up. Whereas when it's recorded, I mean, I've got tons of training that's recorded and I still haven't done it. And
myself as well.
Turned up to all the live rounds of things when they happen. So sometimes you need something and you need it now. So you take it on the evergreen model. You've got clients coming in with their babies. You need that information now. You're going to buy the 1,000 days program. And then it's like, oh, this is something I'm needing because occasionally it happens. That's when you're buying the live round because it's like occasionally happening. And so there you've got all that information in the background that you can delve back into if you need it when those clients come. So yeah, I love a live round, and it's so much more motivating for us as well. It's so much more exciting to deliver. And when you deliver it, you're really out because you go and check everything before you deliver it again.
Yeah.
You know that it's up to date.
And one of the funny story when I was doing that live round and I was updating all the modules, and so for me it also held me accountable to get it done by a certain time because I'd announced the dates, right? And so I did it weekly for 4 weeks because it was 4 modules, and I knew by the week 4 I had to have module 4 done, and I hadn't quite done it, right? So I still was finalizing in the last week. My computer crashed and it didn't save. Okay, so I was like, I think it was the day or so before I was due to deliver module 4 by live round. Anyway, I actually had to postpone it. So again, what I'm saying is sometimes these things happen. At the time, it was devastation, but everyone was cool. I just sent out an email going, like, you wouldn't believe what's happened. So many people wrote back, they've got other practitioners, particularly, most people have a story like that, where you've lost something at the last minute. So again, it's like, you're delivering to real people as well, and there's that authenticity. And if something, goes wrong, well, you've got to roll with it as well. And that was another thing I learned in that moment where it crashed. I was like, I had no option except to say the truth. And so something's happened and I've lost it. And it actually turned out not so bad. And it only took me a few hours to restore it because I could copy and paste stuff in. But anyway, it was, it
is really tough because we think to ourselves, oh, I've got everything sorted, I'm all done, and then at the last minute the whole system goes down or you've lost something. And it is okay because when you're doing a live round as well, when I think I've done it a couple of times where I've had to move things have happened, and so I think I had a death in the family, so I had to move away, things like that. And people, they don't mind, and sometimes they actually go, Phil, because I was a little bit behind.
Yeah, I wasn't quite ready. Actually, I did an online course recently, and it was a 10-week course, so it was quite long. But every 2 weeks, they had it was called a challenge week where you just caught up. And I was like, I would probably put that in my live courses moving forward because that really worked well for me because I like that. I'm the same. I've got that much training stuff that I go, yes, I don't want to miss it. So I'll get that webinar or I'll register for that course and I'll do it. When do you do it? I know
you so want to do things. That's for the pediatric course, my pediatric online mastery course.
Yeah.
The first one I did it was 6 weeks. And I was like, I'm so behind. I was like, oh, so the next time I did it over 7 weeks, but in the and we had a break week, but I still delivered as well.
Yeah.
And then they were still saying and then last time I got a guest speaker in to deliver in that middle week. And then I thought, you know what, this time round, we're actually just going to have a break week. I'm trying to fill it with things and they're trying to catch up.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, like this course, it was 10 weeks, but really it was only 6 weeks of content, but then there was 4 break weeks and it worked really well for me. Like I was like, oh, cool. And there actually wasn't that much to do. The break week was just go back over the stuff. And if you were on time, you got a week off, but otherwise you could go back over. And we put a lot of content in our courses, especially for other crackies, right? And it's so like having that extra time to catch up or even go back over stuff is gold. So that's definitely a model that I will use, moving forward for when I'm delivering my own stuff.
Yeah, it's really interesting with the models that we look at, because I've started to change mine to some block study days in the graduate program, because I looked at a course in Amsterdam. Obviously, I can't go to Amsterdam for a weekend course for multiple reasons, just for a weekend. I can't just pop to Amsterdam, but many, many reasons. And but when they weren't, if you could do it online and you did blocks over 4 weeks, over 4 Sundays. And I thought, what a brilliant idea. Why am I not doing blocks for my people? Because they're all struggling at the moment because people have got kids home, their life is changing on a minute by minute basis at the moment. There's no regularity to what they're doing. So when I started the graduate program, we did it in lunchtimes. So we have to evolve, lunchtimes are no good because now people have got kids there for lunch. They're not by themselves for their lunchtime. They're looking after other people. Yes. So we have to evolve everything and change. And that's part of running a program. And when we put it out, if nobody buys or very few people buy, that's okay. We take that as a learning process, as what was different? Why did those people not buy? Why did they ignore it? What did these people go, yeah, I want to be on this? What was the difference between them that we can change for next time? There's so many learning curves with a program, but it's so worth having a program in our practice to support our clients and to support their needs so that we're not going over the same stuff all the time. That's what's in my programs.
Yeah. And also I get clients from my program. So people that come across the program outside, they're not clients already. They do the program and then they want an individual consult. Yeah. And that's threaded all the way through my program. If you need individual, this, you can't put treatments and those kind of general treatments into programs, obviously, but I'm like, if you need more. So I get a lot of people then end up being clients as well as purchase the program. So it funnels both ways.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. It's amazing. So I think for today, we're actually going to leave it here for today because I want everybody to know that they can go and contact Emma Park about her practitioner course, and the information will be in the show notes. But I'd love to have you back again, Emma, if you'd be happy to come back and chat with us again, because you actually got a huge wealth of experience and you work for a company, Qiara, as well, so a practitioner company. So it'd be really good to get some other insights into other areas. Would that be okay?
Yeah, awesome. I'd love to.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for being with us. And if you've enjoyed today, do all the usual things, everyone, write a review, preferably 5-star. Email me if you've got any questions, because I love to hear from you. So hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.